Hey guys, just a quick little bit here. I finally got around to figuring out how to sync one Amiga with another Amiga, so like a master-slave situation. And the example I'm giving you today is Octamed version 4, which is quite the popular version of Octamed. So basically on the Midi screen for the two Octameds, it's pretty simple actually. You need Midi active and send sync on the master Amiga, and then on the slave Amiga, Midi active and external sync on. Now it's up to you how to connect the Amigas through Midi. Now I was going through Ableton, and then Ableton sent the sync to the other Amiga, but I was experiencing a bit of lag. So using the iConnectivity Mio XLs, it's being routed master Amiga directly to the slave Amiga, and it seems a lot tighter. So just so you guys can see that in action, this is a tune I've already made, which I'll give you a little spiel about later. But here's our master Amiga, top right. All you have to do is hit play song, and that is what sends the sync. So boom, you can see like hands-free, both Amigas are going. And in terms of the scroll speed, you can see the screens right in front of you, and that's pretty friggin' tight, which was a lovely surprise. So, anyways, that's that. So, why are we doing this? Because in the tracker, like a typical tracker situation, let's say, you have 4 tracks in the tracker, and that's organized left, right, right, left. Like Amiga people are going to know this, but for the average layperson. So these 4 tracks get condensed down to 2 audio outputs, left and right. Now, if you're just running it the Amiga output stereo, then those 4 tracks, left, right, right, left, are hard panned. Track 1 and 4 hard left, and track 2 and 3 hard right. So it sounds kind of whack. It's like a ghetto version of stereo. So what a lot of people do is plug in one RCA to get mono output, or as I'm doing, run left and right stereo output to a mixing board or something like that, and then summing it to mono off of that. So that being said, you only have 2 possible channels that can be different from each other, left and right. So if you add a second Amiga, then all of a sudden you have 4 channels of like independent Amiga audio. So with 4 channels, that opens up more possibilities to do stuff with the sound, more interesting routing. So if you think of it like 4 buses, like out of my 4 output tracks, I can have drums, bass, pads, and vocals and effects. Now, these are all mono, but through the magic of like some of the ancient outboard I have here, there's a lot of reverbs like a Lexicon PCM60, PCM70 that will take a mono input and make a stereo output for like a kind of a pseudo stereo sound. So all of a sudden of these 4 buses, you can make your vocals and effects stereo through running everything through a mixing board. You can put a compressor on your bass. You can put a compressor on your drums and get it sounding a bit like more hi-fi, I guess you might say. So, like all the outboard you see behind me, like it's been collecting dust since I've been into the Amigas. So this is an opportunity to use that stuff. Now, a possible downside of this is that I find 4 tracks made inside an Amiga, a single Amiga. It has a certain type of magic, like the way it compresses the 4 tracks together, the way it sums those 4 tracks. And that is part of the Amiga sound, I believe. So what happens when you separate stuff and run things through a board, we'll find out. Maybe there's less Amiga magic. Maybe I like the sound. Who knows? So anyways, the track you see above you is a track I made recently, and I've recorded a mono 1 Amiga version, and I've also separated that same track into 2 tracks to take advantage of 2 Amigas and 4 channels. So my next 2 uploads are going to be a single Amiga mono track and a 2 Amiga stereo processed track. So we'll see which one you guys like better. Okay, cheers.